What conspiracy theory do you believe in the most? I'm from Colombia. In 1948 a liberal candidate that was very popular and would have probably won for president was shot. I strongly believe his death was planned by the then current government. This one is more personal, but I fully believe it. Long story short, my father-in-law was good friends with a guy who was pretty high up in Boeing. Like, knew some top secret kinda stuff. Well, he ended up quitting as he couldn't take the pressure. He was a very paranoid person, to the point was a hindrance to his life. Well, a few months after he starts telling my Phil that he's being watched and followed, and that the government is coming for him. Like I said, insanely paranoid. A few extra details that will be important. He drove moped as his primary transportation, and he was very overweight. Lo and behold, he comes up dead a month or so later. The official story is this: he was riding along when a hitchhiker waved him down. He stopped to pick him up, drove a few miles down the road to a secluded wooded area, pulled off the road, walked into the woods and shot himself. I shouldn't need to explain what's wrong here, but I will anyway. I'm supposed to believe that a guy with crippling paranoia picked up some random hitchhiker and then killed himself. Even if he wasn't paranoid, it's basically impossible for him to fit a small child on his moped with him, let alone a full-grown male adult. No information was ever released about the hitchhiker. No name, no statements to the police, nothing. Sounds legit though, right? That the 2016 clowns were a marketing rouse to promote it, the movie, by reminding people that clowns are scary as crap. Man, I forgot about that whole clown thing. 2016 was a wild year. The clown thing, the election memes, haram, god those were the days. That Hot Ones makes the last chicken wing less spicy than they used to because somebody threatened to sue them. I've tested this theory and I believe it's true. Dab bomb is literally kick you in the face, make you cry blood spicy. Last dab is nothing compared to that crap. Edit. I've also tried Blair's Megadeth, which they used to use for the last dab, and it's still nothing compared to dab bomb. Marilyn Monroe was absolutely killed by the government. She had to be murdered. Nothing adds up. Too many people in the house at weird times. Too many people mad at her. Too many stories changing. Yeah, it seems crazy levels of obvious. Michael Jordan didn't decide to step away from the NBA to play baseball, to honor his dad or anything like that. He got caught gambling, and David Stern couldn't allow the league to lose all credibility with its biggest star being suspended for betting on games. He had him take a couple years off instead of publicly punishing him. There was a good doc on Netflix that went into detail about it. It's about the ref who would throw games, and Michael accidentally got caught up in it when the FBI intercepted a phone conversation. Area 51 is just a front that was allowed to become popular in the public eye, but actually has nothing of value. Not saying aliens in bases exist, just saying Area 51 is allowed to be the popular secret base thing to cover up actual secrets. I must correct my previous statement. Camp David is a retreat, not an emergency location. However, that could also be a front. Also not downplaying what the airmen at 51 do, just saying that what they do now is not likely as top secret as people are led to believe. There was a Reddit ammer with a guy who was verified career CIA. When asked about Area 51, he said it exists to keep you from asking about Area 52. Coca-Cola tested HFCS in place of sugar and found that, while the taste was similar, people could tell the difference. They brought out new Coke to cleanse people's palates and waited until as much of the original formula products had been sold as they could. Then they cancelled New Coke and brought back Coke Classic, which was the HCFS version, and people didn't have any original stuff left to compare it to. The only reason they made New Coke was to act as a buffer, so people wouldn't notice the change in ingredients. I absolutely hate HFCS in my drinks. I went to India over the winter. Over there almost every soda has cane sugar as the sweetener, and I just can't deal with eating corn as my sugar. There's too much freaking corn in American food. I'll have to find the Twitter thread that documents all the uses we've found for con, and how it's in almost everything we eat. Marshmello doesn't actually produce his own music. My biggest piece of evidence is the creator arcade videos. He speaks and navigates Ableton like someone with only a basic knowledge of music production. He does everything number by number. Producers don't do that. You can't just instantly know that sound needs a boost of exactly 1 dB at exactly 1.2 kHz without even listening to the sound first. He randomly pauses every now and then, presumably to be fed lines, and he seems to lack even a basic understanding of music theory, recreating MIDI by randomly clicking in notes with no regard for the key of the song. Someone with the level of skill he demonstrates should not be capable of making radio quality hits. His song Friends with Anne-Marie is literally just a stock beat he got from a stock website. He just added the kick. The art world is basically a low-key way for rich people and companies to launder money, which is why the stupidest most odd of paintings randomly go for hundreds of millions of dollars. I don't think that's a conspiracy theory so much as it is straight up reality. The very wealthy, like generationally wealthy, are known to put their money in art because it can't be taxed the same way and it generally appreciates rather than depreciates. There are only so many monots and Berninus, but if you can spin a good story, any Joe Schmo can be the next Warhol. Yes, I'm a poor Philistine. Not really one single conspiracy theory, but I do feel like seemingly, quite often if a big political scandal is breaking, something tends to happen that dominates the news cycle for a little bit. A shooting, celebrity controversy, something. That is just basic political game. If something looks bad for political party A, then supporters and media of political party A push other news first and search for something bigger. Also, supporters of that political party runs to other news to keep their political bias in check. Planned obsolescence, if it's still a conspiracy theory. Why does my phone suddenly develop unseen issues when the new one is released? It's not a coincidence. And who even asked for these tech companies to release a new phone every year? We live in a time where technology is now growing at a rather slower pace compared to the 2000s when there was rapid innovation. It's not like my current phone is getting crappier in 1 year, but wait, it is. Applies to phones, tablets, smartwatches, basically most rather expensive internet connected devices receiving updates. I think some memes are started by businesses as a form of free advertising. The recent Duolingo memes got me thinking more about it. Duolingo wasn't a small app at the time, but it became a lot more popular after the fact. There have been other memes revolving around a particular product/brand as well that make me think this is happening on a strategic level beyond some kid thinking it'd be hella funny to do this or that. I'm pretty sure this was happened with the movie Bird Box. It was all over Twitter and other social media before I even heard anything about it from Netflix. That's just a well-made marketing campaign. That our phones are always recording, at least audio, to target advertising of course, but more secret agent things as well. My mother-in-law talking at dinner about how hard it is to train for a marathon, now that she is over the age of 55. I get ads all over Reddit/Google/whatever that read over 50 and a runner. Check out this random product. Within 4 hours of the conversation. I know there was a bunch of stuff about this, but I think every company denied it. Could be wrong though. I remember a couple years back I had a pain in the back of my mouth and went to the school nurse and told her I thought it was my wisdom teeth coming in. It was. A couple minutes later, my Instagram Explore page had a bunch of stuff about wisdom teeth removal. I was talking to my mom the other day about getting a present for someone leaving our office. My mom and I work in the same office, and we decided on naming a star after them. Opened up my phone and instantly saw an ad for the star naming site. I literally listed the suggested. To this day my weirdest experience in this was over Christmas. My mom got my mother-in-law Omaha steaks as a gift. I called my mother-in-law to make sure she got it and said how much she loves Omaha steaks. I get off the phone and open Facebook and the first immediate ad was for Omaha steaks. There's a recent increase in realistic space colonization movies to garner interest in space exploration because some people at the top know it's needed. I hadn't thought of that / heard that. It makes a lot of sense though. Dentists organize themselves into groups of 10 and take turns in being the one that doesn't recommend a certain oral hygiene product. Disney released Frozen so that it would be the top result when searching Disney Frozen, and not anything about Walt's head being cryogenically frozen in the Disney theme park. I don't know how likely that is on either count actually. Just like the Anim Free was named so they could get promotion from all the kids searching free Anim. The Earth is a zoo created by aliens and UFOs are visitors. In Lilo and Stitch, they said Earth was a wildlife preserve for mosquitoes. This I do believe. If you are new to the channel you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then you can check another video.